Hey, it's Nick, and I'm back with the last video in the presentation that I've been doing on Java EE banking web application. We've looked at a few use cases and we've looked at how to get some of the things set up in the project or on your own computer so that you could run the project if you wanted to. The two things that we haven't looked at yet are the log out functionality and the actual login functionality. We've looked at creating a new banking user account and then creating types of money accounts that are associated with that new user, but we haven't looked at how the log out functionality works or how the login functionality works. So I'm going to pick off sort of where we left off in the last video, and I'm here on my user accounts page. It's displaying the number of accounts I have and the names of the accounts, and I'm going to just log out, and you can see that brought me to the logout.jsp page. It tells me I'm logged out, and there was a servlet that picked up that logout when I clicked logout, and it redirected me to the logout.jsp page, and we're going to look at that in a minute. But the other thing I want to show quickly is just the login page. So in the previous videos we created account 999 with a password 1234, and that lets me log in. So we're right back where we were at the beginning of this video, showing how many accounts I have and their names. So I'm just going to show you a couple other accounts I have on here. Let's see, wouldn't know them right off the top of my head. How about, let's see, 4444. Okay, account 4444. The first name is 4, the last name is 4, as we can see on the user table. And does 4 have any accounts associated with it? It does. It has a checking and a savings account, so we should see that they have a checking and a savings account. Let's log them out. Let's log in as an invalid user. Okay, invalid user. That's not found in the database. Okay, so that completes the presentation of all the functionality of this application right now. You have the ability to log in, to log out, to create new users, to create new accounts for users, and to view some of the information about the user's accounts. So let's go look at the login and logout functionality in the code. First of all, we looked at logout. So from the user accounts page, when a user clicks logout, when the user clicks logout anywhere, it's going to call the logout servlet. And let's see, where is that? Right, the logout servlet, we have it named here, just like we do all the other servlets. They need to have that name there. And we override the get and post methods here. And all we're doing is sending a redirect to a JSP page from this servlet. The other servlets, we're doing some more work, but we don't need to do much work for this. It's really easy to log out user. So we just call the JSP page. The JSP going to create a user object. We're going to see if they have a session attribute named user, and we're going to cast them to the user object, and then we're just going to call that request that's associated with this session and invalidate it. And the same thing for this dummy object. So that's all we have to do to log a user out. Now that all that information that was in the stored with this session all that attribute information for this user, that's all gone. So the user's logged out and other users can log in now. This is just some HTML showing the logout page. So let's look at the login functionality. And the login servlet is called from the login HTML page. I think I have that up. No. So this isn't as pretty as Sublime Text, but it's the same thing. You could see that the login page, we have a form here, lets the user put in their ID and PIN, and then it calls the login servlet with that information. So the login servlet picks it up, we override the post, and we're going to first invalidate any session data that may have already been stored in the session. That's just good practice. Then we're going to call the request object and get the form's parameters for the username and password. And then we're going to do just like we did in the other methods or the other servlets. We're going to create a object from and get information from the attribute in the session for that user. And then we're going to cast it to a user. We're going to make sure that the information is valid on the server. And then we're going to send them to redirect them to the user accounts page. That's where we want them to end up. Now this is if the user was already logged in. If the user was not logged in already when they went through the login servlet, we need to set that session attribute. And the register servlet does the same thing. So if we have a valid user, we need to set the attribute in the session for that user. And again, that's so that for the rest of the time they're using the web application, our application can use this information in the session to show information that the user will need. Okay, so that pretty much completes a demonstration of all the functionality in the application. I'll have this whole project up on GitHub where you can download it and run it on your machine. And somewhere there on GitHub, probably outside of the project folder, I'll have a data dump so that you can easily import the database for this application. And I hope that you've learned a lot from watching this, and I hope that you have fun playing with the application. You'll find that there's a number of classes and things in this project that don't pertain to this particular web application. Mostly this stuff about the server and client connection. And this is just some extra stuff. I actually go through this in another video presentation on the network client server application. So you don't really need to worry about all of the stuff that's in here. But if you have any questions, please let me know, and thanks for watching. Bye.